Hey, what's up, y'all? It's DJ Phanatic from DJPhanaticBeats.com. I wanted to give you a video of the books that I've read that I think would help recording artists, whether you rap or sing, help motivate you and also get your mind somewhere else where you can learn things that better your career and help you get to the goals that you want. So, I'm going to go over the books that I read, so check it out. Alright, so the first book that I have, this is not in order that I read them. You know what? Actually, it's going to be an audio book, and I don't have the physical book. Actually, I'm going to buy it because it was that good, and you might have heard of them. And if you heard of any of these books that I cover, put in the comments. Tell me what you think of the book. Tell me what you liked about it, what you didn't like, or if it helped you in your career, so that way it can help other artists. I know being a recording artist sometimes can be difficult, especially, getting motivation and ideas, and just being a creative can be difficult because like the whole world is, I don't know, it's just kind of stuck sometimes with just working a day job and just working for other people instead of you going your own route, you singing your heart out or you rapping your heart out and expressing your thoughts, that impact other people. So anyway, let me not rant. The first audio book that I was going to recommend, I have Audible, but I think I had it before I had Audible. But anyway, it's called, actually I don't want to lose my place. Right now I'm listening to Crushing It by Gary Vee. If you don't know who Gary Vee is, look him up. He's very, very influential and extremely intelligent, and he has a lot of great ideas. Really good guy. I just like how, I don't know, how real he is and how authentic he is. He's just a really genuine dude, and he seems cool to hang out with. So that's what I'm listening to right now, but what I was going to recommend is Grant Cardone's The 10X Rule. That, I'd probably listen to that audiobook maybe 3 times, and I believe it's like 6-7 hours long. That tells you how good it is. Grant Cardone, that 10X Rule was just insane. Like, he breaks down so many different things in that book. I definitely would like to read it because I feel like when I read things, it's a little different compared to just listening to it. And I got so much out of it by just listening to it, driving to work, coming back from work, or long trips, driving anywhere. Or, me just walking a dog, I'll have my headphones on, just listening and just consuming information. So that's kind of what I would recommend too for you artists, is like reading books, man. I know it sounds corny, but especially people that inspire you, it's definitely a good idea because it helps you see things in a different light. You have a different perspective. But he broke down so many different things about the difference between people that, one stuck out to me just off the top of my head. There's so much in that book. The difference between those that don't do anything, like basically they don't even wake up in the morning. I mean, they wake up in the morning and they just lay there and watch TV or getting on your phone and look at IG all day. Speaking of IG, if you would like to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at DJ Phanatic Beats. Shout out to all my followers on there. But yeah, you wake up in the morning and you don't do anything. You might get some cereal or some breakfast or whatever. Or, you're working, you go to work and you just kind of check email and just sit there and just be a lump on the log, if you will. And then there's those that these are different types of people. And then there's those that go to work, they do their job, they go home, they may watch TV or whatever, they pay their bills on time, whatever, and they just do things as normal people do. They, do what they're supposed to do, take care of their family, or, do chores or whatever, and, they do average amounts of task, like the average person. So, and then there's those that are not average, the ones that go above average. Basically, they do 10 times more, and that's the sense of the title of the book. 10X Rule is like, if you want to be the next superstar, if you rap, you want, like, I don't know, you want to be signed to Diddy, or you want to be, you want Khaled calling your phone right now, just blasting your phone up. Yo, I need to get you on this song. You want Rick Ross sending people to your crib to pick you up. You want to fly first class. Like, those type of visions require energy and destination, like focus. So the 10x rule is like, what are you gonna do to get to those places? Right now, as you're watching this video, you're like, look at this guy just talking, but this is powerful stuff. So, like, what would you do right now to get Diddy's attention? You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll get the entire Bad Boy roster or whatever. I don't even know if, yeah. You get the entire Bad Boy roster, all the instrumentals, and let's say you rap over every instrumental and you tag Diddy in every one of them. That's one thing you can do. You can take that and run with it. You might annoy him, I don't know. You might get his attention, or he might just laugh. But if you're really good at it, you're going to get somebody's attention that either knows him or friends of him, manager, A&R, whatever. You see what I'm saying? So in 10x rule, that's kind of stood out to me. And he said something else. Oh, he broke down the difference between successful and unsuccessful people. Actually, I might do a video on that, so I'm going to leave that alone. But anyway, it was a great audio book. If you own the book, definitely, I actually would like to buy the book. So let me know what you think of it, if you ever heard of it, or read it, or stopped reading it. It did change my life, actually, because I looked at things differently after hearing that. And it motivated me a lot. And I'm here to this day. So anyway, continuing on, this book right here, boom. Hopefully it's not backwards. It looks backwards in the video, but You're a Badass. How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jen Sincero. You think I know how to pronounce her last name. I lived in Italy for 3 years, and I believe it's Italian, sure. But I'm happy to say I'm actually going to see her speak next week here in the Washington, D.C. area. So I'm looking forward to hearing her. She has a new book, actually. But this one started it all. It's very, very, extremely powerful. It is a #1 New York Times bestseller. 2 million copies in print. I'm sure that's higher now. My bad. She is very funny, but it's extremely powerful hearing these words from her perspective. I highly recommend, especially recording artists. She used to be in a band, and she gives a great example. I don't know if it's this book or the other one, but it was a great example how you may not be where you are right now, like where you want to be. Let's say you're waiting tables, it's cool. Maybe you're a bartender. Maybe you're a DJ like myself. But I'm slowing down DJing. I'm working more on the music and doing the production stuff. But let's say like or any of those type of jobs, whatever. Maybe you're just doing Lyft and Uber full time. But you're a dope artist. Like, you can rap, or you can write songs, or you can paint, any type of artistic job. But you're doing something else. Think of it as a stepping stone to where you want to go. You see what I'm saying? And live your full truth. So anyway, I don't want to mess up the message, but it's a really good book. I highly recommend. I just open up in a random page, and she highlights a lot of the key things she wanted to point out. You cut yourself off from the supply of awesomeness when you're not in a state of gratitude. Wow, that's just randomly I opened that. And I'm a strong believer of gratitude. If you're not grateful for what you have and you don't take care of it, like, usually it makes it more difficult for things to come into your life. So that kind of ties in what I was saying. Like, be grateful for the job you have. Find the love within the hate of it. Like, I know sometimes you can't stand it, but have faith that things will get better and you get closer and closer to who you really want to be. So that's an awesome. Wow, it's crazy that I opened it up right to that. Let's get another. Let's get another one. There's nothing as unstoppable as a freight train. I don't want to curse in this video and have to flag it for. There's nothing as unstoppable as a freight train full of F yeah. So and it's so funny, man. This is the exact chapter I was talking about of her being in a band, and it was called Crotch. Here, let me read just the last part of it, because I don't want to spoil it for you, but just see what you can get away with. Keep being the beginner, lose track of time, love yourself. So, and yeah, love yourself. Man, there's so much hate on YouTube, so much hate in the world. If you don't wake up and say that you're awesome, man, do it. And love yourself, because, you know, if you don't love yourself, who would? You know what I mean? Let's see. Let me just read this last paragraph. So hone your skills, take your craft seriously, learn what you need to learn, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Like, I get so many artists like hit me up for free beats all the time, and it's only $19.99 for one lease, and you can get 2 free. You getting 3 beats that I spent probably 5 to 8 hours on each for $19.99. So, and you won't even pay that. There's like, and that ties into what I was saying about earlier with Grant Cardone. Like, these are, I don't want to make this video too long, but those are the level of people that aren't doing just average. Those are the people that barely want to do anything with their life because they want something free. When you get something free, it's like you don't really value it that much. You ever worked hard for something? You worked like crazy. You worked your ass off. And I've done that most of my life for a lot of these things. These fancy, the studio, you know, the cell phone, the interface, you know, the car, the Sakai Fire, you know, all these books I paid for, my bad. You know what I'm saying? All these books I paid for, all of this. You know, it's not free. I worked hard for it, and I value it, and I appreciate it more. So I'm not even gonna go on a tangent. I don't wanna go too hard on you, but I'm speaking to those that, oh, yo, man, let me it's a minimalist mindset, because it's like you get it for free. You don't want to record anything on it. You don't want to work and write on it. You don't want to like get that energy and get your career to the next level. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, don't get me started. Don't get me started. So invest in yourself. Where was I? Practice your ass off. Fall down. Get up. Keep going. Get really, 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 really good at what you do. But don't lose the fun in the process. Because, like, what's the point of doing all that work then? The only thing you need to do is to do the very best you can. Once you've done that, the only other thing that matters is that you enjoy yourself. Love yourself. So she breaks it down. Great book. Again, you're a badass. How to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. And what's a life worth living if it ain't awesome, right? So that's why you join me. And I don't think I said at the beginning of this video, but I'm gonna say it right now. If you you know, enjoying the video so far, hit the like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed, hit the sub button as well as the bell so you become part of my notifications. You get to see awesome videos like this that I keep on posting. So let's move on to the next book, and I promise I won't tangent too long. The next book, actually, I've always been a fan of hers and admired her heart and her mind. And anyway, it's called My Voice by Angie Martinez. Dope book. I really like this book. Wow, look at these all these statements back here. We got Sean Jay-Z Carter, Jennifer Lopez, Senator Cory Booker, Nicki Minaj, Adrian Bailon, and Pharrell Williams. What does Pharrell say again? Whenever New York has an opinion, Angie has always been the voice of reason. The voice we are waiting for to ask the right questions. The voice we were waiting for to ask the right. Oh, that's dope. So anyway, this book was awesome. I read it. I read slow. You know, I like to like consume the information and take my time with it. What did Lopez say? Angie Martinez is a true friend and supporter of artists. She's a businesswoman, a philanthropist, and true champion of our culture who has forever altered the landscape of radio and hip-hop music. My bad. Definitely. So, reason why I chose this book to share with you all that I read. These are books that I read all last year, actually, and I have more. This is the most I read probably in the last 5 years. I don't know. I've been looking forward to getting information. And I'm recommending this for recording artists because she ran, I won't say ran New York, but was a significant part of New York music for years, decades. This woman, I think she's like, my bad for the distortion if I like totally messed up your ears, but she ran radio for New York, actually beyond New York, for years, and she's like coming from a perspective of a fan first, you know, and like hearing her story grow up listening to early hip-hop and like admiring lyrics, admiring beats. Then she turned into like leaning towards doing her own music. I remember when her own single came out also, like, and then she started doing like the reality stuff. And then just hearing her story about being a woman in the industry and how she did all the interviews with the artists and how like she did all the parties outside of radio and just how she was a fan and she loved the culture that much, you know. And being a recording artist, you definitely, you know, have to get in the public eye, you know. You gotta be out there with radio, podcasts, you know. A lot of the people that run these things are fans of your music, and to connect with them on a human level is important because they are influencers. But if they're a fan of yours, you definitely want to, like, you know, communicate with them and learning from them, especially this woman. You know, look, reading it gives you a whole nother perspective when you're writing that next song, when you're in that booth, or, you know, it also gives you a perspective of when you're, you know, creating music in general and making your goals, because people like this, you know, is kind of like the silent, I won't say she's silent because her voice was really impactful, and I really like the imagery in this book. Thanks, Angie, for doing this book, man. And thank you, Jen Sincero and Grant Cardone. You guys are awesome, man. And like I was saying before, reading definitely puts your mind out to a whole nother level. So anyway, for artists, I do recommend reading it. I'd read a few chapters and see what you think. And then she talked about the whole Tupac Biggie thing. That was deep. She said a lot of stuff I didn't know about in this book that happened. And, you know, being, you know, born in New York, I kind of have a connection to it. So anyway, dope book. So last but not least that I would recommend, well, that I read as well, is this. Wow, this was awesome. L.A. Reid, Sing to Me. L.A. Reid. Shout out to L.A. Reid if you ever watch this, or if anybody knows him or whatever. Definitely not least, my story of making music, finding magic, and searching for who's next. Sing to Me. With Joel Selvin. L.A. Reid with Joel Selvin. Sorry about this. Is actually shipped like this. Come on, Amazon. But anyway, this book, as you can see, it's pretty thick. I can't believe I read all these. It was really good. Where do I begin? It was cool to hear like his background, how he started. I didn't even know that he was in a band. You know, I didn't even know he played, he played drums. I didn't even know that. And I was like, always hearing his name, L.A. Reid. And he talked about in the book how he got L.A. That was cool. But it's cool to hear his story, how he started. Because if you think about it, pretty much anyone that's this successful, that powerful, I mean, they came from somewhere, you know. And he had some rough times in the beginning about trying to find gigs and stuff with his band, and how the musicians shifted. You know, they lost members, they gained members. You know, commuting to go perform, how they had to work on their image. He talked about how they had to work on the image, because I think it was like early '80s. I think don't quote me, because it's been a while since I read this. I think I read this at the beginning of last year. But one of the owners didn't want to put them on because they didn't look a certain way. You know, and that's something as a recording artist you should understand too, because you know how you portray yourself is how people receive you, and you got to be mindful of that. You know, look at me. I'm just chilling in my office, my headphones on. You know, but you might not look at me as a platinum selling producer. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not, but I'm just throwing that out there. But I will be. But you look at me and you just see, hey, who's this guy talking on the screen and on YouTube about some books? You see what I'm saying? So you have this mindset of you know, someone talking, looking like this. So anyway, also in this book, what I really like, this book was so, it's like 10, 20 different stories in this book. I never knew this man and Babyface was the main reason why Atlanta got its thing going. They were looking, when they were relocating, they were looking for a place that music really wasn't known, and they chose Atlanta. They bought a house there. They built the studio, I think, in an outhouse, and basically they went ham. They made music. They constantly wrote songs, constantly sung them. They wrote songs for other artists. I think they started with Pebbles, and I think after Pebbles, I think TLC came, and then Outkast came, and then man, who else? It was a lot of different artists. Oh, Tony Braxton. Yeah, Tony Braxton was huge. Who else? There's a lot of them. I know they wrote some songs for Bobby Brown. Who else? Of course, Whitney Houston. I believe Mariah Carey. I'm pretty sure Mariah Carey. Man, there were so many artists in this book. My mind is slipping me right now. But anyway, that really spoke to me, because they were out on a whim. They were like, look, we got our own thing. We could start our own label. You know, let's do it. Let's start our own label. Like, they were musicians stepping out of their comfort zone, going into the business world of music. And this man, like, went from that label to the head of the major. It was deep. And the opposition that he faced when he started doing, what was it called? American Idol. All the behind the scenes stuff. I never even knew that story. There's a lot in this book. And it's a timepiece, you know. It's definitely good to hear history, you know, how things got the way they are. And I wasn't very familiar at the time about, you know, labels and how everything worked, the hierarchy, you know, and the connections and stuff like that. But anyway, dope book, highly recommend it. It seemed like a movie to me. I wish they would make this a movie. So anyway, that's 4, maybe partially 5, because I mentioned the Gary V audiobook that I'm listening to now. So those are the books, some of the books that I read last year, and I chose those to recommend to you because this channel, I know you see me making beats on it. I know other producers watch it. That's cool. Y'all can watch it. But it's mainly for recording artists and to help inspire y'all. And I know, you know, there's artists out there that make their own music too, so it's all good. So just wanted to share a few of the books that I found interesting. If you read them, put it in the comments. Let me know some of the things that you remember in these books that inspired you or taught you something different. Or and if you have anything that you recommend for recording artists, put it in there as well. So thank you to all the subscribers that subscribe to my channel. I had a lot of new subscribers, man. This last year was just super dope. I'm gonna shout a couple of y'all out if I can get to the app real quick, so that way, you know, the video ain't too long. But yeah, let me shout out a few people, man. Let me shout out Alex Fontanet for the comment. Appreciate you. Bandana Beats, appreciate you. Let's see. Oh yeah, let me shout out Mr. Different TV. Appreciate you, man. Your videos are crazy, bro. Keep going, man. Always learn something with you. Let's see. Shout out to Simon LeGreg for that video that you posted. Thank you, man. Shout out to Marshall. Shout out to my homie Very Sick Beats. Shout out to Kyle Garrett. Dope Trap. Triple X. Shout out to Jada Squad. Of course, shout out to BeatStars. Alright, I'm not gonna bore you, but yeah, shout out to everybody that subscribed to the channel, man. I appreciate y'all. Jaytona Williams, thank you. Eric Carnu, yay, man, it's lit. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. So anyway, again, if you haven't subscribed, hit the sub button, hit the bell as well. Be part of the notifications. Hit a like, hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and you have a good evening. DJ Phanatic Beats.com signing out. Peace and love.